Welcome to another AMA with Kadena Ecosystem. In this episode, we will be speaking with the team from Pit Bull Bushido. This conversation was recorded on March 17th, 2023, live on Twitter Spaces. The views and expressions in this AMA do not represent the views of Kadena Ecosystem directly and are not to be considered as financial advice. Please make sure to do your own research on the projects presented. Also make sure to follow and subscribe to our account to be alerted of new uploads. Now let's get started. Enjoy. Welcome everybody to another AMA with Kadena Ecosystem. Today we have back with us Pit Bull Bushidos. They released a big, really cool merch store recently. They're getting close for their NFT mint, so it'll be very nice to catch up with them and see what they've been up to. So welcome back. Glad to have you guys back here.
Hey, thanks, and thanks for having us. I know it's St. Patrick's Day where you're at, so thanks for taking your evening with us instead of with the little green men. But we are very excited about what's going on. Of course, as you know, we are the ones that did Kawaii Canines, Angel Doggos. We did another collection earlier on Ethereum, just kind of teaching ourselves how NFTs work and how all these different things like smart contracts, all these different details that we wanted to work out, we've kind of been able to work out over time. And it's kind of gotten us to this point, which is the first collection in Islands of Demea, which is Pit Bull Bushido. And I'll just kind of give a quick summary of it. Again, it's 47 samurai divided into 7 different groups, each based on a virtue of Bushido. I actually had just seen recently, and I've been talking about this for almost a year now. We've been, talking about this project and planning it, but apparently some of the devs over at Call of Duty had the same idea. I don't know if it's just, I don't know if it was just a simultaneously a good idea or what, but in their latest, I guess you could call it season, they also included this same idea, the 7 virtues of Bushido. But anyway, hopefully, I don't know where they got that idea from, or if it was just, great minds think alike. But we are going to be dropping this collection, and it is based on integrity, respect, heroic courage, honor, compassion, sincerity, and loyalty. And so when this collection comes out, we will be dropping all 47 samurai at the same time. All 47 samurai will have duplicates of each for a total of 2,209. Now, we are currently kicking around an idea where we might throw in one additional character to round it out to 2,210, and that specific character will have a very, very special IRL prize. So we're thinking about throwing in one additional, just one of one into the mix, but we're still kind of Christina's idea. So we're still working that out. But the main goal of this collection is to release the 47 samurai as a shuffled deck. It'll be a blind mint, so you'll just have to mint, whichever ones you get. There really won't be a wallet limit, so you can come in and mint as many as you want, really. And then we are going to try to encourage aftermarket trading. We're hoping to be able to integrate with Hypercent basically immediately, because we are going to be using Marmalade for this collection. When our first collection on Kadena, which was Kawaii Canines, came out, if you had minted one of them for 5 KDA, we were adding you to a list where all minters of Kawaii Canines were going to receive a samurai from this collection for free. So technically 500 or so samurai will be sent out for free. However, we do have a form we're asking people to fill out, because I know a lot of people who received we are very thankful that we have so many people who minted Kawaii Canines. We had 402 distinct holders on Hypercent. That's actually one of the highest counts on their site currently, showing that we did have a wide variety of people who minted Kawaii Canines. But we're also wanting to make sure we don't send them to dead wallets, these samurai, or to people that aren't active in the space anymore. So we do have a form for that. But we will be sending out a few hundred for free immediately, and that should spur on aftermarket trading pretty much right after launch. Now, for launch, as you know, as everyone knows, we launched our first two projects with Mintit. Um, However, unfortunately, due to the problems that they've been having, we've had a few issues there. We were not able to live out all of our plans that we had for Kauai Canines. We had a lot of different things in the works for them, a lot of different things that we had going. But because of that project going through what they're going through, we have not been able to continue minting the Kauai canines, so that kind of came to a standstill. However, we're still wanting to keep our word for the free mints. So if you do have a Kauai canine, make sure you got that form filled out, and we're going to get you your free samurai. Uh, that being said, we had looked into a few different launch platforms on Kadena, some of the newer ones that are out, some other ones that have been around for a while. I will say, very thankful to all the developers. They're very kind and helpful and offered us a lot of different options. However, I'm also very thankful to the developers that we've been able to build a friendship with. I'm very thankful to them, and hopefully I'll be able to put out some more information about that soon. But they've been really, really great to us, and a great partnership that we were able to work out. And we're thankful to them because we're going to be releasing our own Mint site, run on Flux. So it'll be a Flux server. You can go there and you'll be able to mint using Marmalade standard, the Pit Bull Bushido, and hopefully all collections from Islands of Nemea will be available on the same site over time. So you can just come in as we add new collections to this series. You can just come to our site, mint them, and then they should be tradable on other trading platforms on Kadena. So that's kind of a general layout of where we're at. We're targeting March 1st. Hopefully, if all goes according to plan, March 1st will be our launch date. It will be on our own website, our own Mint site. So I'll be sharing that link once that's available. Uh, Pretty soon, should be able to share some previews of that, some sneak peeks of what the site will look like. We're hoping to be able to include Koala Wallet through Wallet Connect. So to those who have a Koala Wallet, as opposed to any of the other wallets in Kadena, if you would like to use your Koala Wallet to mint an NFT for once, as long as that Wallet Connect thing is worked out by the 1st of May, we will be able to have Koala Wallet as an option for minting our NFTs.
Great. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to Wallet Connect being all tidied up. We're just couple little bug fixes still left to go and a little bit more testing, but I think that should be good. Now you said March 1st. I'm assuming you meant April 1st for release, correct?
Sorry, I meant May 1st. It's
May 1st? Okay.
I haven't been getting much sleep lately. It'll be
No
May
worries.
1st.
All right, I just wanted to make sure so that people are
Yes.
clear. Now, you spoke about Hypercent and your previous collections. Now, I've noticed, of course, that Hypercent has been able to port over your Kauai canines. Has there been any progress or anything on the Angel Doggo side?
So the Kauai canines were able to be brought over. Most of them. There are still, I want to say, 20 some, I forget the exact number, that haven't been revealed yet because of the contract issue with Mintit. So we have the majority available right now on Hypercent. We did have one aftermarket sale, which I'm thankful for. We did set the royalties down to 2.5%. So I'm going to try to give out a little bit of information about that as well. I put a very long, I know it's too long for most people to read, but I did put out a pretty long update on our Discord just to kind of keep everybody in the loop. For Angel Doggos, unfortunately, I was speaking with Hypercent at this time because only 13 of the 100 were minted. Not kind of wanting to bring that over to Hypercent just yet. Maybe once the rest of the collection can either be minted out or if we decide to try to do a relaunch, not sure. But because there are only 13 of them, I believe that's probably part of the reason why they were not ported over or brought over to Hypercent, which is fine. Understand that. But unfortunately, that's kind of the issue there. We do have a plan. However, I've been contacting Mintit, and all I know is that they they are telling me they're working on some things. However, I do know that the problem started back in November and December, and now we're in March, and of course, going into April, we'll see if after 4 or 5 months things can be fixed. However, a lot's going to have to depend on them fixing some issues. If they can, however, we do have a plan to personally, I myself with a team wallet would just get them to set the price lower, and then I would mint out the rest of the Kawaii Canines and use those as airdrop rewards for holders. For the Angel Doggos, I would like to go ahead and mint those out as well. Maybe just use those in giveaways, because that was a lot of work Christina did. She did all the artwork for both of those collections. There was a lot of time that she put into that, and I hate to see them just kind of go to waste, because she did all of that work herself. And of course, now we're working on these Pit Bull Bushido collection. These are 47, basically just 101s. She's been doing each, just drawing each one individually. I can say that you've seen some of the previews, you've seen some of the reveals that we've done. However, you haven't seen the best yet. There are some really cool samurai in this collection that she's been doing, and so we're just real excited about that.
Now, I like the idea of hopefully that you can do this, of minting out the Angel Doggos and canines yourself. You could maybe, I was thinking then, because I did our AMA with Hypercent the other day, and they said that there is an auction option with Hypercent. So possibly you could mint those out and then just put them up for auction. Highest bid wins them, as a way to kind of save to make up some of the potential losses of those not minting. That's one idea I just thought of while you were saying that.
Yeah, that's an idea. We were real excited about the progress of specifically Kawaii Canines. We had a few different plans for them, crying over spilt milk here, but we did have a lot of plans for those, including we were going to do a 1,000 KDA giveaway at the end of minting out. We still had over half or around half of the one of ones, and with the bounty rewards still available at the time. All of that had to stop. All of that had to come to a close because of the issue. We just lost our momentum, and I don't think there's any way we could get it back. Even if minting was able to resume today, we've just lost our momentum. So we were trying to come up with an idea. I've contacted them about the possibility of just my going ahead and minting them right now, but because of the issue that they're having with their smart contracts, they wouldn't be revealed. So even if I minted them, nobody's going to be able to see them. So I did think about burning the collection and then relaunching and then airdropping everyone a new version of the previous NFT, just calling it like Kawaii Canines 2.0, and just kind of just doing it that way, similar to how Alpha Slayers, I believe, did theirs, where you had to basically go and remint your claim, I guess, your new version. Something similar to that was another option as well. We're kind of looking at that as a possibility. We did consider doing that before Hypercent launched, just to be able to streamline everything. However, it's complicated. So we've been trying to brainstorm some ideas as far as that goes. But we were in talks with another marketplace, and their advice to us was just kind of let those projects go, and then try to concentrate on advertising for the Islands of Nemea, Pit Bull Bushido collections, because we have a lot going down in this particular series. So we kind of did that at first. We did shift to just trying to advertise, but at the same time, in the back of our minds, we really hated that we had to let all that other stuff go, because those were really special to us, being our first collections. And as you know, the Angel Doggos, alphabetically, they're like one of the first collections on Kadena, so they're like always at the top of everything in the advertising for NFTs. I was watching YouTube yesterday. Some random YouTuber was talking about Kadena NFTs, and he's talking about the Angel Dogs, and like Oh yeah, because obviously it's right there at the very top of the list. So we do want to be able to reclaim those, get those minted out, and give those out to holders if possible. But there again, who knows when that might be able to happen.
Yeah, it's a real shame that a couple of projects have been put into that situation. And hopefully, like you said, hopefully something can be worked out and that you can get, because that's a lot of work that your missus put into designing all of these canines and doing all the artwork and stuff like that. And it would just be a shame to kind of have that kind of go to waste in the doggos as well. Not go to waste, but just kind of felt just, yeah, I guess, yeah, go to waste would be kind of the way to say it. But
Incompleted.
hopefully something, yeah, incompleted, yeah. So hopefully something can work out. But it is good to see, though, at least the canines are surviving over on the Hypercent marketplace. And maybe now, like, if, for example, if someone was to buy the Hypercent, buy a canine on Hypercent's marketplace, does that make them eligible for the free pit bull?
Uh, we have basically reserved the pit bulls for minters. So we already took the snapshot, and we also already have the list, of course. So not actually. It would just be original mints, so not aftermarket. We did have with the Kauai canines, of course. It's kind of hard to explain, and maybe eventually, I can, put it all out there. But we had an original story with Kauai canines. So, as you know, the Islands of Demea, we're building this into an IRL card game. We are also, hopefully, in the future, going to be doing a digital game as well, kind of sticking more towards our own, I guess you could say, just our own little area, which would be just doing some IRL cards, some in real life physical rewards. Like I said, we might be throwing in a special character that will come with something really special. We'll be probably hinting or teasing that some more as time goes on, hopefully. But we're trying to do more physical rewards for our current collection, but hopefully eventually as well digital as a game. But we had an original story where the Kauai canines were written into the story. They were basically the ones telling this story of, basically going through life and going back in time and meeting the samurai and learning from them. This is why the Kauai canines look kind of similar to the Pit Bull Bushido. That was actually part of the plan, which is why the head shape is similar, because that was going to be included in the story arc. However, because the issues with the mint, because we had to basically change horses, we then rewrote the story. We rewrote everything, which actually it kind of turns out a little bit better, I guess, in the end. We were able to rewrite it. I'm somewhat of a writer, so I was able to rewrite the story. Uh, Not as long as a novel, but basic outline, and we have a big plan for how we're going to tell this particular story. But the Kauai canines are no longer in it, which is a little sad. But that's okay. It actually turns out a little bit better. But they are available on Hypercent right now for aftermarket trading. Not really much that I can say other than if you have them, we lowered our royalties down to 2.5%. So we're basically just matching Hypercent's fee. When we do release or manage to be able to mint out the rest of the collection and airdrop them to holders, we might increase our royalties to 5% at that point, just to be making a little bit back, because we'd be giving out the rest of the collection, almost 2/3 of the collection for free. But for now, it's at 2.5%, so you don't really have to sell for much more than 5 KDA to be making any profit. So one individual, I believe, sold one for 10, so they just made double what they put in. So we're trying to keep mindful of that. We're trying to do what we can to give back to the holders to help them. But we also really want to be there for those who were there with us from the beginning, which is why the samurai are for minting wallets and minting, the people that actually originally minted them.
Now, speaking on IRL things, let's talk a little bit about your merchandise. Now, last time we talked, you were pretty much on just selling hats, but I see now that you got t-shirts and hoodies as well. The hats are really cool, really loving them. And then I also saw a sneak peek that you guys have gotten some test cards in as well. So why don't we talk a little bit about the merch and a little bit about the cards?
All right, so the merch. Now, this is actually a question I was going to have for you guys with the Koala Wallet, because I believe you guys were using Printful as well. But I'm still waiting on my samples to test the quality of the printing on the front of the sweater, the hoodie rather, and then of course the T-shirt. We have added two items to the store, which would be the T-shirt and the hoodie for Heroic Courage. Those are for some samples that I ordered myself as well. I'm kind of waiting to see how those turn out, and then we're going to be pumping out more for each virtue. And our plan is to eventually have an option for every character of the 47 Samurai. So if you wanted a hoodie or a t-shirt with a particular character on it, you would be able to purchase that. We also have an Amazon store right now. Having a bit of an issue adding merch to that store right now. Just some technical details I have to work out with Amazon. If you've ever been a seller with Amazon, it can be complicated. Also, they take a large chunk out of any profits you make. So I would barely be breaking even with Amazon right now because I'm basically drop shipping with them. So because I'm using Printful to sell on their site, so it just I barely make anything off of Amazon. But with our own website, with the hats, I make a little bit of profit, like just a very small margin. With the hoodies, it's even smaller. Like I think it's like $3 because I charge you for shipping because I can't pay it myself, and then I make like a $3.50 profit margin on the hoodies. We're trying to keep all of our costs down, so I know they look a little expensive, but you're basically getting them at cost because we're wanting to do it so that if you have something you want, you'll be able to get it, and you won't be paying, an arm and a leg for that. You'll be able to get it at a relatively, decent price. For the merchandise, we do have two hat collections available right now, all based on the virtues of Bushido. Christina and I are actually going to Japan in April for a week. We have a trip planned. It's technically also a work trip because we're taking photographs of different, castles, temples, nature scenes to be used in the backgrounds of these 47 samurai because we're wanting to include a little bit of actual, Japan in the background of this collection. And we have a few other things that we have planned for there. So we're wearing the hats and we're taking some sweaters ourselves or some hoodies ourselves to wear there. So going to be also having some business cards printed in English and Japanese with the QR code. So maybe I can also advertise a little in Japan, but because we do ship to Japan as well. But that is the merchandise section. You can look at our website, islandsofdemea.com, for that. We have a shop there, and we have Wix checkout, so it's all secure. You can do that if you want, or you can hold out and wait for me to finish this Amazon store, and then we're going to hopefully be able to port everything over there as well. For the cards, we did put out a few previews of some of the IRL cards that we have received. Basically, we ordered a deck or a partial deck of cards just to see what the quality is from this supplier. We do like the quality. We are planning on ordering the deck of the all of the decks of cards eventually, just not at this time yet. The way it'll work is we will print 47 character cards, and these will all be based on the NFTs you will have in the collection. Those who manage to be able to complete their full collection of 47 samurai will then be mailed a deck of special limited edition IRL character cards. So you will then receive the 47 NFTs basically in physical trading cards. We are wanting to be able to mail you, if you do mint the 47 and you manage to complete your set, and you can, show us that you have all 47 samurai. We want to be able to send you a beta working version of the card game. I can't necessarily promise that at this moment. What I can say is that we will be sending you 47 character cards, which will have the picture of the NFT, some strengths, weaknesses, items like their armor. We'll have some kind of previews to that on our Discord. But we are wanting to also be able to include a starter pack of cards as well that would be able to let you play a version of the game with either 2 or 3 other people from the get-go. We are kind of testing that right now. We're wanting to print some test decks of cards ourselves. There's a little group here in Guam where we're currently living where they get together every week and they play card games. So we're kind of thinking about going down there and getting their help to help us beta test it, work out some kinks, because who better to go to than a bunch of experts in card games. And then once we can work that out, we would then be able to sell the cards as well online. But there will always only be special edition cards for those who minted the original collection. And those who complete their full set of 47 will be the only ones who get this particular edition of cards. So they turned out great. The quality's good. We have basically set up some of the orders for the future, but we're kind of waiting for the mint to start on May 1st. And then once we can start minting out, then we'll see our trajectory and we'll be able to have a time basically set as to when the reward cards would be able to be sent out.
Now, this game, can you maybe go over it at all? Like, do you have like the basic layout of the game figured out and how it works? Could you maybe expand on that?
Yes, so we do have a working version, just using basically post-it notes right now in little like 3x5 cards. We do have a working version now where you play it. I guess the only way I can describe it is basically sudden death. So it's there's a couple of different ways we have it planned out. We're also kind of working on a board game version as well, but we will have the character cards, which for at this moment I can say is basically having like a physical representation of the NFT. But we're wanting to make it so that we will have power up cards, which would be food. So in this Islands of Dema series, we're going to have Samurai, which is this collection. So their food power up cards would be like Japanese style food, like udon, sushi, that kind of stuff. We also have castles, which would be their bases, which if you have one of those cards, they would give them an extra defensive perk. If they are going to go up against a different warrior and they're a little bit too weak, then you can, if you have a power up card like a food card, you can feed them. You can feed them before they go into battle to give them a few extra bonus points. And then basically you would be doing several different rounds of sudden death matches until the other's army is depleted. So basically just one-on-one. That's one version of how it could be played from the get-go. We're trying to figure out different ways of how we can develop it as time goes on, but this would just be iteration 1. So very simple, very straightforward. It would come with a rule book with the cards, so we should be able to get all that worked out. As more collections come out, I can tell you that we do have our second collection, the Verkai Warriors. Christina, she's working really hard. I know that we are a little behind on some Angel Doggos, so I put something about that on Discord. We do have a few of those customs we have to finish, but she's been working really hard on these samurai. So I appreciate everybody's patience with us because she's just been working almost nonstop on this. They're turning out really cool. However, the Verkai Warriors, she's wanting to have those out by August, or at least August or September, towards the end of the year. And if we can release the Verkai Warriors, then that'll come in with another faction. So then if you have that collection, you will then have a second faction in this game where you could then fight with each other. Then, of course, the next collection would be, I believe, the Viking collection. I forget their names off the top of my head. I'd have to go to my storyboard. But we have a Viking-themed collection. And there, for instance, their power-up cards for food would be like salt fish and different types of Viking-style food. If when the other collections come out in the series, you could use the power up cards, sorry, for any collection. But as an example, if your samurai ate a power up card from, say, the Viking collection, they could eat it, and it'll give them some benefit. But if they're not from their suit, if they're from a different collection, they can eat it as a power up, but it'll also give them like a stomach bug or something like that, or some sort of like some sort of a downside to it. So we're trying to figure out ways that we can integrate it all together, make it fun and interesting. For the digital game, we could go into that. I do have a lot of plans for that, but then of course that would take a lot of money. So I can't say when exactly that might happen, but hopefully within the next few years, we can see our digital plans also go live.
A lot of these ideas sound very much kind of aligned with another amazing project, Wizards Arena. Have you possibly maybe looked into them or talked to them about like just kind of the way that they're doing things? Because it kind of sounds the same kind of idea where you have like your main characters and then you get power ups and things like that. It kind of goes along the same lines of what they're doing. Have you been in discussions at all with them? Because if not, we could probably get you guys in touch with them.
I have not. I know that they're really busy, and I really love their stuff. I actually minted one of their collections. I wanted to get a druid, but life has been crazy the last few days, including with our internet being down, and so I think I missed them. But we I do see a lot of similarity there, and I do see a lot of possible down the road maybe something we could work out, even if we could just, dare I say, if in the future we can just incorporate our IP into theirs, somewhat, at least as a tangent, somewhat, because we we have our own wizards clan in our collection. They would be the warriors. It's the Makara, I believe. They're going to be like a desert people. We already have some mock-ups of them, so hey, you never know. Maybe we can try to figure out a way where we could integrate at least a version or a set from our collection in with theirs. That would be awesome, because we will have a Wizards faction of our own. I forget exactly. Christina's the one that has it all worked out, but she has some ideas for that as well. But that's later on, further down the road. But we do have that. Would be cool. It would be interesting to see what could work out.
Maybe you could work out a deal where you like they help you do a digital game and you help them make like cards. Oh, like it would be cool to have like a Wizards card game in the same kind of fashion that you're thinking of doing your card game. I think that would be beneficial for everyone, and they could then sell their cards as well, and just everybody could make a little bit more profit and spread their projects even farther, and then maybe even have like
Yes.
the samurais fighting the wizards and stuff like that. That'd be kind of neat as well.
Yeah, and I know that like their style is different than ours, because Christina's drawing all of these. I know theirs is more pixel, which is not really our forte. But if we could do like one series that is pixelated, or at least take some of our series and have them pixelated to be integrated. Hey, I'm speaking off the cuff here, so I'm not even sure. I don't even know if they'd even really be interested, because they're busy and they're doing their thing. I That's part of the reason why I haven't really contacted them, is because I know they're busy. Like if I'm busy and it's the two of us and we're doing what we're doing, I know that they're crazy busy. So maybe down the line, if when things kind of maybe lighten up a little, because I know that they're going to probably be pretty busy with everything that they're working on. Maybe there's something we could do. But for now, we're doing what we can, and we'll see what works out over time.
Yeah, there's always lots of stuff you can do in the future, and like we're not in. I don't think anyone's really in any real rush to get things pushed out the door and get things set up. Just kind of do it at your own pace. We're still deep in this bear market. People seem to think that we're coming out of it now, but just because Bitcoin goes up 8% doesn't mean that we're out of the bear market, although it seems to make people think that.
the the
So
only Oh,
Uh,
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah. I would say the only, not necessarily rush, but the only push that I have to try to get at least a couple of collections out early on is I'm gonna the mint price for the Bushido is 7 KDA, and we will have, after the free mints are sent out, still around 1,700 left, 1,600 maybe, somewhere around there. But I can charge 7 KDA now because it's reasonable. I would not be able to charge 7 KDA if KDA were worth $5.
Yeah, that is true. It's the KDA price is definitely going to have an impact on what you try to sell the NFTs for. So definitely that will definitely make a difference. But I don't see the price going any drastic way one way or the other. Hopefully anytime soon. So lots of time to be able to build and things like that. So uh, you guys got your marketplace is live. You got your merch going live. You got a dev that's finally been able to help you build your back end NFT launchpad for your website. What else are you guys looking for and need? Do you need any more help from the community? Is there any other ways that people can get involved and help bring these Bushidos to life?
Well, I think one thing that we're trying to do, one thing that I'm doing is, on the side, I am trying to reach out to people outside of Kadena to advertise. So just this morning, actually, I last night and this morning, I heard back from two different NFT calendars. I don't know if you've ever followed NFTcalendar.io, and then there's another one, NFT Drops calendar. Both of those have somewhat of a pretty good following on Ethereum and other blockchains. Both of them actually responded to me, and they added Kadena to their blockchain list. So we will be the first Kadena NFT collection to advertise on their website and through their email mailouts and etc., which is great because we're hoping to be able to get more outside eyes onto Kadena NFTs, and hopefully we can then bring some more people in. As far as to be able to bring the samurai to life, I think our real hang up was going to be, where can we mint them? Where can we release them? Which we're very thankful that now we will be able to have our own mint site, because then we won't have to be worried about losing contract keys, about losing access to the collection, because this collection is taking it has taken Christina a lot of work. 47 samurai, just drawing each one, trying to make them as detailed as possible, make them individual, using different color palettes for each virtue, making sure that each character is different than other characters. They're all different poses, different weapons, different armor, just completely different from one another. And so we're trying to do that. The other thing that I'm working on right now is, of course, naming them. So I'm actually in the process. I have a spreadsheet, so I'm going through all the virtues and I'm naming each individual character. So each character will be named after a real life samurai, based on virtue. Of course, some of the samurai weren't the most virtuous guys in the world, but we're trying to pick the best virtue to fit. We will also, in the metadata, have information like what type of armor they have, what type of weapons, different things like that. So as far as from the community, I say just sharing the stuff, just helping us get more advertisement, just trying to help us reach others, and just spreading the word. And then, of course, like you were doing just now, helping us come up with ideas about reaching out to Wizards Arena, which has been in my mind. Also, just helping us get a little traction. I know some other people just recently reached out to me from different groups on the Kadena and said, hey, dogs, samurai, everything that I love. I'm surprised I haven't heard about this project yet. So just anytime you like, retweet, share information, all of that is a help to us, because we are a relatively small project. It's just me and Christina and our dev team right now, and we're thankful for everybody. You can join our Discord. You can just keep up with us on Twitter, and yeah, I think that's as far as the collection. We will release them. They are done practically. We are going to release them. Uh, we could have given up. We could have given up when we lost control of the canines and other collections, but we were not going to let that stop us. So we're going to keep pushing through, and our plan is to try to develop this into, like, obviously I can't say the best NFT collection on Kadena, because I know there's just a lot of other people that are able to do things that we cannot. But we want to be one of the most honest and virtuous, I guess you could say. We want to be one of the collections that lives by these 7 virtues. So we do try to be fair with everyone. If you do see somebody lying about us, like I know there's a couple of times where some people are, spreading FUD about us and our other collections, you can tell them straight up that's not true. We always try to keep our word. If we do anything, if there's a reason why there's a delay, we tell you. But with this collection, we do want to make sure that we make can't make everybody happy, but we're trying to make as many people as we can happy and at least satisfied with the collection. And we're hoping to make it something cool and special and different. I know it's a little bit different than other people's. Like, if you do mint, you will be either getting duplicates or you will have some similar NFTs to others, because there are going to be duplicates in there. But that's part of what makes this different. It's going to be trading them, building your collection, and seeing how many different ones you yourself can hold. So just different.
Yeah, pay no attention to the people that are fudding and hating. There is a very small contingent of people that kind of sit in the sidelines of the Kadena communities and just seem to hate on absolutely everything. Like, you just seem to you can't put an idea out there without one of them stepping up and shooting it down and telling you how stupid you are for even thinking that. And those kind of people, first off, need to get a life. And secondly, a lot of these times, these people that are creating that FUD and saying those kind of things have never made a project themselves, have never put anything into the community other than their negativity. So it's best to just ignore those people. You guys did the right thing. You did have some rocky starts, and you did have, like, a lot of people in your situation probably would have thrown in the towel after losing those 2 collections, losing control over them with the whole minted thing. A lot of people probably would have been like, all right, that's it, I'm done with this, let's just stop. But you guys are definitely doing the right thing by pushing forward these pit bulls, because you do have a vision and you guys are very driven, and your vision is clear, and it's just a matter now of pushing through and doing it, and just screw what everyone else has to say and just keep pushing through. And once you get out there, you will find your way. You'll find people, like you said, you have people reaching out even right now saying, oh my God, I can't believe I've never found you guys. You guys have all the stuff I love when it comes to NFTs and art. So you're definitely going to find more people that are positive about it than negative. The only thing is that the negative people are usually louder than the positive people. So that may seems like there's more of them, but there's really not. When you really look down to it, they're just the loudest. They're very much the very small minority of people. So don't listen to them. You guys are doing great things. You've obviously care about the whole community, because just getting these NFT drop websites to add Kadena support is something that is not just going to benefit you guys, but can benefit everyone that's building in this Kadena ecosystem, that's building an NFT project. You just opened doors for everyone in the community to be able to help promote and take advantage of these systems and dApps that are out there. So really, kudos for you for taking that step and making that happen. I think if you were, make sure to shout that out, like shout it out from your Twitter, shout it out from your Discord, that, hey guys, these sites have added support for Kadena. Hit them up. Get your name out there. Get the ball rolling. So, like I said, just ignore the people that are talking hate. They probably weren't going to buy your NFTs anyhow. They just like shitting on people for the sake of their own crazy egos and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
You know.
thanks for that, Chris. I appreciate that. And we, we are, like I said, we do have a lot of ideas. There's just so many ideas that we have, and it's cool to see them coming together. Like this collection, this Pit Bull Bushido collection, this has been something we've been talking about since the middle of last year, when we created the Twitter account, I think it was, or even before that. This was, on the chart as something we wanted to do, and we've been planning this out for a very long time. It's finally starting to come together. Months and months after we originally thought of it. We do have a comic book, and I know a lot of people wince when they hear that, because I've seen a lot of people that not really into that, but hear me out. We have a comic book plan in the works where we're going to take these NFT characters that we have, we're going to work them into a storyline, how to tell the story about what's happening in the islands of Demea. With the Verkai, the leader of the Verkai warriors, he will be our main evil character. We have something pretty cool planned for him, and how the story is going to be told. So we do have a lot of things worked out there. We do also want to sell the pages of the NFTs, as well as pages of the comic book, rather, as NFTs as well, which we do have some thoughts there about what that could bring you as far as rewards. I was speaking in one of the spaces we were in a week or so ago. I was actually able to talk to Will Martino about one question I had, which was when they're talking about having the ability to tie NFTs to rewards for holders. And my basis of that question was an idea that I had, like, if we did release a Web 2, even a Web 2 game or app, for the NFT holders, would it be possible for me to give rewards to the holders of the NFTs, like for the first year or two, a part of the if we did sell it as an app or a game, like if I wanted to give them royalties, like how would that work? Would that be a possibility, and would that be something that we could do, basically automatically, or through coding with Kadena? So we do have a lot of ideas where, even if we can tie in, physical IRL stuff, Web 2 stuff, even just like iPhone, Android apps, then of course going into Web 3, similar to Wizards Arena. I'm not really looking to start a token or anything. I do really like what they're doing with their, Wizards token. Uh, so, there's a lot of things a lot of ways this could go. It's just a matter of finding the right partnerships, finding the right people to work with, and then just seeing what works out over time.
There's nothing wrong with having a token. It's the projects that create a token for no reason other than to collect money through it is the problem. Like, for example, Wizza never used their token to do an IDO or to raise funds or anything like that. It was basically created of necessity of the game. So as long as if you're doing it that way, you could even make it so that, like, I'm not sure if this is possible in the pack coding for tokens or not, but to make it so that it cannot be traded on a DEX or things like that. You can make it so it's literally only an in-game currency and it can't leave the in-game. So, like, there is total use cases for tokens. So I definitely wouldn't rule out not doing a token. It's just about finding a solid use case for it that is good, beneficial to the
I
project.
just gotta find a way. I like what you suggested, like it can't be exchanged, because I just have to figure out a way that I don't get, if I have any, if I add any of my own money into it, I don't get liquidated it basically immediately from everybody just selling it off from underneath me. Because, like, I'm kind of thinking about that for the future, but for now, I'm kind of just gonna stick to what we're doing, at this very moment. But who knows where it can lead. There are some pretty cool ideas that we have, as far as like in-game currencies and stuff like that. But there again, we have a couple of roadblocks between us and there. One of which, of course, is the funding. So we're starting slow. Of course, we had originally planned on selling out the Kawaii Canines, which was going to be basically our seed money to do most of this. Didn't really work out as well as planned. So because of issues beyond our control. But we were able to see through the Kawaii Canines. I mean, I'm still very encouraged by the fact that we have a very wide variety of people who minted. I mean, 402 holders in Kadena. That's a lot for KDA, in my opinion. Like other collections, I know have more. Specifically, those that had free mint, free mints. Those held out. So, those have more holders, obviously, than we did. But people coming in paying 5 KDA to mint a K9, over 400 different people. That's a lot for this ecosystem, at least in my opinion. So we're thankful for that, and we're hoping that we can build it even wider base, because I would rather have more people involved than just have a small group of a few people dumping all their money on me and getting mad if they don't get their returns immediately. I'd rather you spread it out over a wider group of people and make it more fun for everybody than just 12 gatekeepers.
Definitely, yeah. No, you guys did a great job, and yeah, it's obvious that there was interest in the canines. So obviously, there's people who are following the project and wanted to get involved with it. It's just like you said, forces beyond your nature got in the way, but don't let that get you down. Keep pushing forward, keep building. Pit Bulls will be the next bigger iteration where you can really see, those people that have been behind you really come out and flourish. And I'm sure those people will tell two friends, and those people will tell two friends. The Kadena NFT community, from the research that we've done when we were researching the different projects and stuff like that, really only averages between 3 and 500 solid people we found. So the fact that you hit that 400 wallet mark shows that you've captured a good portion of that community. So the future is really endless when it comes to this kind of stuff. And if you're releasing a great product with a great roadmap and a great plan, which you guys definitely are, I'm sure there's going to be lots of people that are going to want to just jump at it. So, and then there's lots of people that are going to like the randomness of your minting and trying to collect all 47. There's a lot of people. The NFT community is large, like a collector's community, kind of like a baseball card collectors or comic book collectors. There's people that are trying to complete their collections. So you get those collection hunters, and this is going to be a perfect chance for them to be able to enjoy and get that thrill of finding, completing a perfect collection. So I'm definitely very excited. I'm very super to hear that you guys have found a dev and you're going to be able to get your mint stuff up in place, and that Hypersense helping and getting involved, and that you'll have a safe marketplace as well for people to be able to trade these, because that's going to be a huge part of that collection hunting, is the secondary market, where people are going to be able to put up their duplicates for sale and then use the funds from selling those to buy the missing ones that they're going to need. So it's very cool to see these options are out there, and you guys are just pushing forward.
Well, thanks for that feedback, and we are excited about it. Like I said, 47 editions of each character, so at most only 47 people would be able to complete their sets. Uh, it might be in somebody's interest to try to mint more, just to be able to have a greater chance of completing their set. But at the same time, I know that some people, some individuals who collected the 47 canines, they are getting 47 free samurai. Now, I put it out there because we had originally asked everybody, would they want to mint each one individually, be able to come in and just mint which characters they needed to complete their set, or would they want it, randomized, shuffled? And that's what people voted for. Okay, you guys voted for that. You voted to make it harder on yourselves. So that's what we're going with. So we're going to just release them all at once. 47 characters times 47, 2,209, I believe that is, total. We do have, Christina had a thought about throwing one extra character in there for a special limited edition IRL prize. I won't say what it is, but it's something in the realm of samurai in Japan. And if we do end up doing that, it's going to be really cool. So we're planning something there, just as one last little Easter egg that would be in the collection. So that would round it out to 2210. But we do have them. The one thing that I do understand is going to be a little difficult for people is like the numbering. So we will be releasing either on our website or another site of ours, a special website where you'll be able to go and you'll be able to see the list of the 47 characters and maybe a spreadsheet that you could then download and just check mark off which ones you have, to be able to keep track of that, so that you can then know what you have, what you need to complete your set. I've spoken to CAD Rare once. I'm wanting to also include the rarities. However, I don't know exactly how we're going to be able to incorporate that immediately because there are going to be duplicates. But all 47 characters are going to be ranked, from 1 to 47. So we are going to have a ranking system based on which character you have, not necessarily which NFT you have. So you got to bear that in mind. And then we will go from there. So we're working all those details out, trying to speak to some different people to get as much as we can hammered out. Trying to get out some words. So I do appreciate you taking your time on St. Patrick's Day. You could be doing something else, but I appreciate you being here with us to help shout it out. And to everybody listening, thank you very much for being here. If you do want to go to our website and order you a hat or anything, you can just use Take 10 as the discount code. That gets you 10% off. That basically makes it at cost. So, that's as cheap as you'd get it if you were making it yourself. So if you would like to get a hat or anything from that series on our store, feel free to do that and stay in touch. We got a lot of stuff coming up. May 1st, not March 1st. May 1st launch date, and we're targeting that, and we hope to be able to do that.
Awesome, yeah. And for people who are like saying that like the cost of the hats and stuff is too high, you got to look at these hats. These hats are embroidered. They have 3 areas of embroidery on it, and I can tell you by from someone who's made merch on Printful and other websites, every time you add another embroidery spot, it it jacks up that initial cost price. So those hats are pretty damn near close to cost. I can tell you that just from my own experiences of building merch and stuff like that. And I can say though too that I've ordered embroidered hats from Printful, the supplier you're using before, and they do an excellent job of embroidery. So I wouldn't be
I
worried
can
at
tell
all
you the
about the
quality of
quality.
their hats is very good.
It is, yeah, it's excellent. The quality of pretty much all of the stuff I've gotten from them has been excellent. We've had pretty much everyone who's ordered merch from us has been very pleased with their products, so I wouldn't be too worried about that at all. But again, thank you very much for coming back and catching up with us. It's always great to talk with you guys. You're always so positive and you have such a great grasp on what you want to do and your project and where you want it to go. And I just can't wait to see what happens. I'll be definitely watching for May 1st, and probably grab myself some pit bulls. So yeah, it's been really great talking to you. It's been really awesome.
Well, thanks, Chris. It's good to know all y'all. And hey, Kevin and Omar, there's our dev, and and a few other folks in the space. Thanks for being here, and I appreciate all of y'all being here. And you guys are awesome. And thanks for your support. And hopefully, we'll have some more good news we can share soon. Kind of waiting on pins and needles to see about our request for a grant. We'll see how that goes. I know that there's a lot of people competing for that, but we'll see where that goes. And then as well as this news that we have today about these different NFT calendars adding Kadena at our request. I will be tweeting about that later. So if you are an NFT collection on Kadena, you can do it. It is a free service. If you give it enough time, they will add you to their list. I know a lot of it seems kind of like bots, but I can tell you these calendars, they're big on Ethereum. People do look at them, and the more people we can bring over here uh, and build interest, and it'll be good for all of us. So thanks for your time, and thanks for this opportunity. And we'll be here and trying to build this together.
Great. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Make sure you guys go follow Pit Bull Bushidos, join their Discord, get involved, and get ready for their mint coming up. And go get yourself some of this sweet merch. It's very awesome stuff. And yeah, definitely we'll be talking to you guys of it again very soon. We'll catch up again once more stuff has been released. But I want to thank everyone for stopping by and listening to the AMA. And have a good evening. Happy St. Patrick's Day, wherever you are. And take care. See you next time.
See ya.
That wraps up another amazing AMA. Thank you for listening. Here at KPN, we strive to bring an open platform for projects being built on Kadena to present themselves to the community. Please ensure to do your own research on each project before investing. Also ensure to follow us on all our social media from Twitter to subscribing to our weekly newsletter to ensure to keep up to date on everything KDA related. You can find all the links in the description below. Take care.